Good Monday morning. I hope you're ready for a great week. I know I am. I have a story for you today. It is called Lucky and the Giant by Benjamin Elkin. Here's the cover, Lucky and the Giant. This is Lucky. I wonder what this is about. One morning, Lucky wanted to go fishing, but when he got to the river, he could not believe his eyes. The river was gone. There was no water. There were just dry stones. Someone had taken the river away. Lucky ran home to tell his father. "Our crops cannot grow without water," said Father. "I must look into this right away." There's a picture of Lucky going to the water. Who could take the river away? Father followed the dry bed of the river up and up into the hills, and then he saw where his river was. Elmo the giant had taken it. The giant had made a lake for himself and would not let the water come down the hill. There's Father, and then there's Elmo the giant. He had taken the river from them. "I suppose you've come down for your river," said the giant. "Well, you cannot have it." "But I know the law of the land, Giant Land," said Father. "If I can do a giant's task, the giant must give me what I ask." There's the giant saying, "You can't have it." I wonder if Father can do a giant's task. "And do you know the rest of the law?" asked the giant. "If the task you cannot do, it's 7 years of work for you. If you fail in my task, you must work for me for 7 years. Do you still dare to try?" Father looked at the giant. Elmo's boots were put on wrong, and they didn't even match. "He doesn't look so smart," thought Father to himself. "I'm sure I could do his task." "Yes," said Father, "I will try your task." There's the giant telling him 7 years he'd have to work for him. Uh-oh. Then Elmo put one huge foot on the hill, and he put the other foot in the valley. "Ho, ho, ho," he laughed. "Let me see you do this. Put one foot on my land, at the same time put your other foot on your land." Do you think his father could do that? "That I cannot do," said Father sadly. "You know I am not a giant." "Then you must work for me for 7 years," said Elmo. "Start digging my field." See Elmo showing him or talking to him? Mother followed the dry bed of the river up and up into the hills, and there she saw Father digging in the field. "I suppose you've come for your husband," said the giant. "Well, you cannot have him." "But I know the law of the giant land," said Mother. "If I can do a giant's task, the giant must give me what I ask." "And do you know the rest of the law?" said the giant. "If the task you cannot do, it's 7 years of work for you. Do you still dare to try?" Mother looked at the giant. "My puppy's barking." "No, go get your ball. Go get your ball." Mother looked at the giant. Elmo needed a haircut, and his sleeves were too short. He doesn't look too smart. Well, look who wants to play. "I'm sure I can do his task." "Yes," said Mother. "I will try your task." See Mother thinking? Then Elmo picked up a rock and broke it with his bare hands. "Ha ha ha!" he laughed. "Let me see you put a rock into 2 boxes at the same time." "That I cannot do," said Mother sadly. "You know I am not a giant." "Then you must work for me for 7 years," said Elmo. "Start peeling my potatoes." While Father was digging in the giant's field and Mother was peeling the giant's potatoes, Lucky was at home worrying about them. "Why aren't Father and Mother back by now?" said Lucky. "Something must be wrong. I shall go up the hill to see if they need my help." Here he goes up the hill. My puppy's jealous that I'm reading to you. Then Lucky followed the dry bed of the river up and up into the hills. But as he went along, he saw different things that he wanted to save. So he picked them up and put them into his pocket. At last, Lucky saw his father digging in the giant's field. "I suppose you've come for your father," said the giant. "Well, you cannot have him." "But I know the law of giant land," said Lucky. Drop it. "If I can do a giant's task, the giant must give me what I ask." "And do you know the rest of the law?" asked the giant. "If the task you cannot do, it's 7 years of work for you. Do you still dare to try?" Lucky looked at his poor father digging away in the giant's field. "Yes," he said, "I will try your task." There's Lucky in the giant's hands. Then Elmo put one huge foot on the hill and he put the other foot in the valley. "Ha ha ha!" he laughed. "Let me see you do this. Put one foot on my land, at the same time put your other foot on your father's land." Uh-oh. "Why," said Lucky, "I can do that very thing. I just happened to bring some of my father's land with me." From his pocket, Lucky took a jar of earth which came from his father's farm. He poured out the earth in a little pile and put 1 foot on it. So now he had 1 foot on the giant's land and the other foot on his father's land. Father dropped his shovel. Now he was free again. That was smart. Then Lucky looked around and saw his mother peeling potatoes in the kitchen. "I have come from my mother too," he said. "You have you? Then you must do another task." Look at all those potatoes. Oh my goodness. The giant picked up a rock and broke it with his bare hands. "There," he said. "Let me see you put 1 rock into 2 boxes at the same time." "Why," said Lucky, "I can do that very thing. I just happen to bring 2 boxes with me." There's the giant. "Why," said Lucky, "I can do that very thing." Whoops. Elmo looked. Miss Richards skipped a page. From his pocket, Lucky took 2 boxes. One box was smaller than the other. He dropped a pebble into the smaller box. Then he put the small box into the bigger one. So now the little rock was in 2 boxes at the same time. Mother dropped the knife and the potatoes. She was free again. He was a smart little guy. Elmo looked unhappy, but Lucky wasn't through with him yet. "Just a minute," said Lucky. "We want our river back too." "Well then," said the giant, "first let me see you take all the water out of my lake with a spoon." Oh my goodness. He's not happy, giant, is he? "Why," said Lucky, "I can do that very thing. I just happen to bring a little spoon with me." From his pocket, Lucky took a little spoon and with it began to dig into the mud wall at the bottom of the dam. Lucky dug and dug. At last, the water began to trickle out. The hole became wider and wider. The trickle became a torrent, and then the river flowed as merrily as before. The giant's lake was empty. Lucky and his mother and father looked at Elmo. Even though he had tried to take their river, they felt very sorry for him. "Look," said Lucky to the giant, "there really is enough water for everyone. The trouble is that you built the dam in the wrong place. Build the wall over here, then you will have your lake and the water will still come down to our farm." They all helped Elmo build a new dam, and by he had a brand new lake. "No one ever tried to help me before," said the giant. "If I can ever do anything for you, just let me know." So Lucky and his parents went happily home. "Your father and I are lucky," said Mother. "We are lucky to have a boy as clever and good as you are." Wasn't that nice that Lucky thought of ways to be kind and figure out the problem rather than getting angry? Sometimes we have problems in our life, but we need to really think about a solution to work through it. I hope you have a great week this week. I miss seeing your faces, and just know that you are loved and being thought about by your school district. This is Mrs. Richard with our Monday story.